Hello and welcome back to another video in my walkthrough series of Cicada Detroit. In this video we will be covering puzzles 28 through 30, so without further ado, let's dive in. Alright, puzzle 28, so this is a fun one. We have a riddle here. It says, in a previous puzzle this name once appeared and you moved right along because the puzzle was cleared. But the name meant much more than originally known. One that circles this name has two names of its own. Now this is tricky because it doesn't tell you which puzzle we're looking at, just that anywhere in the previous 27 puzzles there was a name. Something that circles this name has two names of its own. And then there's one hint on this page. The dot, the period at the end of the sentence is actually a link. If you click on it, you'll see what happens. You get redirected to a YouTube video, which I'm not going to play the audio of so that this video doesn't get copyright striked. But we have the fifth dimension, Age of Aquarius. And that is a small hint that we have. So this can take a bit of time, but if you work back through the previous puzzles, you'll eventually find in puzzle 18, this image is called a Trappist.gif. And as you recall, Trappists are a set of monks. And one of the things these monks are known for is the beer they brew, the majority of which is brewed in Belgium. Now the Belgians love this beer so much that the University of
Liège
has decided to name a telescope after it, the Trappist telescope. And I'm not joking, they literally named it after the beer. Now, this telescope is primarily associated with one star system, that being TRAPPIST-1, previously known as 2MASS J230629228- numbers, rather unwieldy name, but it's now known as TRAPPIST-1. And if you're unfamiliar with the naming convention for star systems, typically you name the star and then all the planets get named B, C, D, E, going up the alphabet, but A is reserved for the star itself. So, this planet has a planetary system with a few planets, starting at B, C, D, E, F, G, and H for the different planet names, and they're just called TRAPPIST-1b, TRAPPIST-1c, etc. So I think you can see where this is going. The name that meant more than originally known, Trappist, because not only is it the monks, it's also a star, and one that circles it, circles like orbits. Each of these planets is circling the TRAPPIST-1 star. However, remember that like unwieldy name, the 2MASS whatever? Each of these planets has an equal name in that system, where it's the same name followed by B, C, D, E, etc. We'll take that name, we'll get rid of the space, we'll try our first planet B. Okay, that didn't work, let's try the second planet, C. And there you have it. TRAPPIST-1c, or 2MASS J, whatever, C, is the planet that has two names of its own, a TRAPPIST-1 name and a 2MASS designation, and it circles TRAPPIST-1, the name that appeared previously. Very cool puzzle. Now, moving on to 29. Alright, so it says, step 1, find the vessel. Step 2, find the lines. Step 3, compare what we're made of. Step 4, decode the signs. So first we need to find a vessel. We'll find that if we inspect the page, just above the text, there is an image hidden here, a little picture of an alien. We'll take that URL, we'll visit it, we'll see it much bigger now. This is a vector image, an SVG, and SVGs are composed of XML, and in the XML we will see that there's two additional URLs listed here, lines1.gif and lines2.gif, and those will be the lines. So let's go to those. Let's go line1.gif. We found more symbols, and we'll save that image. We'll go to line2.gif. More symbols. We'll save that one as well. We've now done steps 1 and 2. Now we need to compare what we're made of. And as we saw in the previous puzzle, the URL says that we are made of star stuff. So, like we said, we need to compare to what we are. So I've taken the lines, this is line 1, this is line 2, and I've compared with the URL from the previous puzzle, where it says the cosmos is within us. We are made of star stuff. And I've lined up each one of the characters with the symbols. And we'll see that every time an English letter appears, the symbol that it matches up with is identical. So like here's an S, we have that symbol. Same again and again. Every time there's an S, it's the same symbol. Likewise, here we have two Fs, it's the same symbol. So what we're looking at here is a monoalphabetic substitution cipher, also called a cryptogram. And with this realization, we can now decode the signs. the signs here. So we'll see that every letter in the signs has appeared in one of the lines that lines up with our existing mapping. For example, this here is the U from over here. This is an A. This will be an R right there. This is an E, and so on. And you go through the whole thing, and it'll spell out, you are now the cicada. So we have now decoded the signs and got you are now the cicada. We will go to that URL. And that takes us to puzzle 30. Okay, so for 30, it says SSH guest at cicada.uno pass. We have 4 hashtags, and then it says the 4 numbers that are the password have been shared socially before. No brute force guessing. Now, we'll go back to Reddit. In this image with the Metro Times, we also have a lockbox, and on the box, we can see the numbers 9973. Those are our 4 digits, so that'll be our password for this one. But now we need to do an SSH connection to the Cicada.uno server using the username guest, and we now have our password, 9973. So we will do that. Alright, so we'll type SSH, then guest at Cicada.uno. It'll ask us for the password. We'll type in 9973. We see a cicada made out of 1s and 0s, and some text starts to scroll across the screen. You are surrounded by darkness. After 17 years of living underground and surviving off the sap of tree roots, the day has finally come. You are buried, trapped in the soil. The weight of the earth presses around you. You must make your way upwards to find the surface. There are 7 individual action words you must enter to move up. Now this part will be a bit of trial and error. We'll have to figure out 7 different words. I'll show you what happens if you get it wrong. So just as a test, let's type in the word test. It says wrong, try again. So we'll now just be going through guessing words. I already have the word list, so I'll show you those now. We have move, and it says you struggle and push forward. Push, same message. Dig, climb, claw, tunnel, and burrow. After much effort, you break through to the next level. You look around you and your eyes begin to focus. Something flashes in the corner. A beetle with a metallic bronze shell moves towards you. He towers over you and says, well, if it isn't a little nymph. I'd make you my lunch, but I already ate. I suppose I'll let you proceed if you can answer my question. If 3 is first, 13 is second, and 1113 is third, what number is 11th? So this is what is known as the C-say sequence. So I see 1, number 3, so I say there's 1, 3. And now looking at this one, I see 1, 1, and I see 1, 3. So we get 1, 1, 1, 3. We can find this sequence online. It continues. So now I see 3 1s, so I would write 3, 1, and 1, number 3, so 1, 3. And it continues on in that fashion. And we can just count up to the 11th on this page. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 11. So the 11th term is this one. We'll just copy that, go back to the terminal, paste it in, hit enter. It says correct. The beetle nods in approval and motions you towards a tunnel heading upwards. You climb upwards into a faintly lit chamber. You see 4 glowing arrows on the wall pointing up, down, left, and right. Above the arrows, it simply says choose the correct sequence. In the center of the room, you find a scrap of paper with writing on it. Alright, so now we need to read the paper, and you can do that by typing in read paper. And we get what looks like a cipher. Now, as far as what you enter here, as a little side note, you can type in any string that contains the word read and paper. So you could say read, and then just bash the keyboard a bunch, and then put the word paper in, and it still works. We're going to take the cipher and head to decode and see if they can identify what it is for us. Alright, so paste in our ciphertext, hit analyze, and we'll see shuffled letters, anagram generator, but none of these are actually the answer we're looking for. We'll also try another tool. Using blocks and tricks, we'll also have them analyze our cipher and see what they come up with. We see a columnar transposition cipher as our top bet, and we see a few other transition type ciphers. So neither one of these tools has gotten the exact one, as it's like top guess, but we're in the right ballpark with transposition ciphers. So it'll take some trial and error to find the right one, but what you're looking for is actually the rail fence cipher. Go to that tool, go Click decrypt, paste in our text. And we see that we get up, down, down, right, up, left, down. Now before we continue, I'd like to note that you can do this in decode as well. However, make sure you check the keep punctuation in spaces box, otherwise you'll get the wrong answer. So here you can see we got the same answer of up, down, down, right, up, left, down. We'll take that and go back to the terminal, paste that in. It says correct. A door opens, revealing a staircase leading up. You hear a voice whisper as you take each step. I drift without wings and vanish without a trace. I can take any form that the mind can embrace. I rise and I fall, never staying in place. As you reach the top step, the voice says, what am I? And for this riddle, the answer is clouds. Or does cloud? That's correct. Moving to the next area. A path upwards is revealed and you ascend further. You enter a room where a mole sits in the center. You tell he can sense your presence. Young nymph, he says, are you lost? You gather he's not asking for the purpose of helping you. So you decide to remain silent. No matter, he says. Help me open this box and I will let you pass. The mole tosses the box at your feet. You pick up the box and notice it has a 5-digit code that can be entered to unlock it. The inscription on the top reads, the first digit is prime. The second digit is twice the third digit. The sum of the third and fourth digits equals the first. The fifth digit is the absolute difference between the second and fourth digit. The sum of all digits is 22. Alright, so we have a bit of a math problem here. I've typed out this in my notes. I'll show that here on the screen. So here's how I broke this problem down. We know we have a 5-digit code. So I've called the first digit A, the second digit B, C, D, and then E. D takes the 10 place, C is the 100s place, B is the thousands, and A is the 10,000s place. So you can think of them as our total, as our whole number n is being equal to 10,000 A plus 1,000 B plus 100 C plus 10 D plus E. Now our first clue, it says that the first digit is prime, which means A must be either 2, 3, 5, or 7. So those are the only single digit prime numbers. The second digit, which we're calling B, is twice the third, so B is 2 times C. The sum of the third and fourth digits equals the first, so A is the sum of C and D. And then the fifth digit is the absolute difference between the second and fourth digits, so E is the absolute value of B minus D. And we know that adding up all 5 digits equals 22. So then we can use substitution and reduce this down to 2 equations. We can say 22 is equal to 4C plus 2D plus the absolute difference of 2C minus D. And we know that C and D have to be in the set of 2, 3, 5, and 7. So that gives you about 11 possible combinations for what those 2 digits can be. You just have to go through and try each of them until you find that having C equals 3 and D equals 4 is the only pair that satisfies the equation. Then you can use this information to plug back into the original equations and solve for the rest of the letters. You'll come up with an answer of A is equal to 7, B is equal to 6, and E is equal to 2. In addition to C being 3 and D equal 4 that we already figured out. You'll come up with our number N being 76,342. So we'll type that in, 76342. It says correct. The box pops open and reveals a key. You see a door with a keyhole on the opposite side of the room. You scurry past the mole as he tries to grab you. You hear buzzing behind the door. The mole is moving towards you. You run to the door with key in hand. What will you do? And here you just have to type in use key. It says correct. Use the key and the door swings open. You quickly move into the next room and close the door behind you. You head towards light and realize that you've made it to the surface. It's only safe to emerge at the start of each minute. Type emerge when you are ready. Now for this part you need to type the word emerge right on the start of the minute. So, in case the system time on your computer isn't exact, I like to use time.gov to make sure I'm getting the exact time. So put that on the side of the screen. We can see the current time here. Type in the word emerge. We'll wait until that clock says 7:48 in this case, and we'll hit enter. Alright, 3, 2, 1, enter. It says congratulations, you've successfully emerged as an adult cicada. Head to cicadadetroit.com/thegamemustgoon872. We'll take that URL, and we will go there. And that takes us to puzzle 31. Alright, and we'll be stopping there with the infamous puzzle 31 for the start of the next video. If you don't know why puzzle 31 is infamous, you'll find out next time. Now, if you learned anything new, or if I missed something, let me know in the comments below as always. A few of you have already pointed out in previous videos about things that I missed, and I'll be covering those things at the start of the video on puzzle 37. If you don't know why I'm talking about puzzle 37, it'll make sense when we get there. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.